Started on this wonderful day. I am ecstatic to be here this morning as part of this momentous occasion. My name is Marta Rivera. I'm the Commissioner of the Boston Centers for Youth and Families. It wasn't too long ago that we were here announcing an investment in a new community center in North End, and it of course raised a lot of questions about what's going to happen to this building. But thanks to the work of the mayor, the chairman, and so many of you here, this building will remain here and serving the needs of the community for 100 more years. So in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to turn it over to our mayor. We're also going to be hearing from Chairman Milkowitz, Councilor Coletta, the Director of Historic Preservation, Murray Miller, one of the residents here, Ellen Hume. And so without further ado, again, I just wanted to welcome everyone. Thank you all for the work that you all have done, not just in preserving this building, the Nazzaro Community Center, but also for your engagement as we move forward with the new community center. Ultimately, BCYF and the administration just wants to make sure that the North End continues to be served and receive the services and programs that it deserves. As the community continues to evolve and grow, we want to be here with you, continuing to be a hub and pivotal part of this community. So again, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our mayor, Mayor Michelle Wu.
Good morning, everyone. I will just note, it is so sunny over there. I don't know if people are so far back, but if you don't want to be in the sun, come on up. Or you can stay in the sun and tan. It's all save up for the winter. Thank you so much to everyone who's here. I know this has been a long time coming for the community to have the solid guarantee that this space will be here forevermore, preserved as a treasure of history in Boston. For the city of Boston, it was kind of a little bit of this is faster than we usually do things in terms of getting through all the processes. And so we were very, very grateful to have so much support to help us learn new muscles as we are trying to make sure that more historic areas across the city are preserved as well. This one is unique because not only is it in the heart of a beautiful neighborhood as a beautiful building, but it has served the community with every generation benefiting from the services here for a very long time. So I want to thank Commissioner Marta Rivera for all that she does to keep our BCYF centers beautiful and vibrant and active across the city. I want to thank Chief of Human Services, Jose Masso, who oversees BCYF and many of our departments who directly serve residents, as well as Roseanne Foley of the Boston Landmarks Commission, Murray Miller, you'll hear from shortly, the Director of Historic Preservation for Boston, Ms. Simpson, of the Director of the Nazzaro Center, and I hear Ms. Romano is here as well, the very, very first center director, whose decade of service and continued volunteer work continues to make this the heart of what it is in the neighborhood. We're very grateful also for Chief of Staff in our Neighborhood Services Office, John Romano, Sarah D'Amico, our North End liaison, and of course the elected officials who are gathered here with us, Chair Aaron Michaelwitz, your hometown hero here, as well as your district counselor, Gigi Coletta, and at-large counselor, Michael Flaherty. Okay, so last time we were doing an event here, my staff reminded me that I made a promise, and I try to always keep the promises that I make, that I would try some Italian next time I was here. Okay. Vi ringrazio molto per la vostra attenzione. Right. Anyway, that's all I can do. I will keep learning. It's been a while. Thankfully, we are here to celebrate what speaks for itself and doesn't need any language to show that this January, thanks to the partnership and leadership of so many, we announced a new community center for the North End that will have enough space to support the thriving and growing community here, one designed with our residents' needs in mind, a space that will be exciting to every member of this community and create opportunities for joy and connection and growth across every generation. While that space is being built, a little bit away, the Nazzaro will continue to serve the North End community as it has for more than 100 years. Thank you so much to Representative Michaelwitz for allocating $20 million in state funding for the new community center and $5 million toward renovating and preserving the Nazzaro as a centerpiece of this neighborhood and the city's history. So today we are here on a beautiful day to get to sign the designation to make the Nazzaro Center an official Boston landmark. So thank you so much to the Landmarks Commission, for everyone who helped steer this, and most of all, thank you to the community members who gathered signatures, who signed, who made sure that this community's voice could be heard. It is because of all of you and more than 1,500 residents who signed that original petition more than 3 years ago, all the leaders and organizers who spoke up and made it very clear what this space means, not just for the past and the history of Boston, but for its future, that we are here today. So we're so grateful to celebrate the culmination of your work. And now I get to turn it over to Chairman Aaron Michaelwitz.
Thank you, Mayor. It is a great day. What a beautiful day. You couldn't ask for perfect weather, more perfect weather, to be doing this. When we scheduled this, we figured we were going to be inside, but why not take advantage of maybe one of the last great days we have going here? And today is a great day in many respects. For a lot of reasons. When you think about the history of this building, I was just standing here and just thinking about as a teenager hanging out, in front of those on those steps, or playing tennis ball out here, or playing basketball over there, and certainly not well enough, which is why obviously I ran for office, and but mainly because what this means to the North End, what this means to this neighborhood, how this building is literally like the center point of the neighborhood, and it has meant so much as a center point to everyone that lives here. Not just the youth, but the seniors, and everyone that participates in different things, the community meetings, everything that goes on in here has been so critical to the growth of our neighborhood, to the survival of our neighborhood, and so for us to celebrate this today and make this something permanent going forward, I really am truly honored to be part of it, to be standing here with my other elected officials, and to be just speaking to you on behalf of the work that we did up at the State House. I want to give Senator Lydia Edwards a shout out, who couldn't make it here today, because the senator was the counselor at the time when we first started doing this work, and she was very instrumental working alongside many of our community partners here to making this happen. And the other reason why this is so important is not just the work that's gone on here or what it means, but it's a lot of the names that have been associated with this building. And I look and I see John Dexter's name, and I see Uncle Fred's name, and the memorials that are to those people. The people that have done the community work even before the Nazzaro Center existed. This is a tribute to them as well. To Carla Meno, to folks like that have really truly dedicated their life to this community and helping enrich not just just all specters of the community, and making sure that we continue to grow in a positive way. So that's what I'm really proud of, and what really I'm really smiling about today, is seeing our ability to get to do that. Now, what we do with this building going forward, I think, is going to be what we do inside the building, I think, is really going to be up to you, the community, and making sure that we decide exactly what this is going to be. I think you have us here listening and willing to work with you to make this happen. But that is a big, that is something that we're going to talk about going forward, and it's an exciting thing, because we're going to have some new opportunities to do some potentially new great things for this neighborhood. And so, as the mayor spoke eloquently in Italian, I do not speak Italian at all. I speak North End though, which I think is a different dialect of the version. Very proud to as well. But I want to thank the mayor, in particularly, for her leadership, for signing this so quickly, and for making this such a priority of hers to get this done. I want to thank Councilor Coletta and Councilor Flaherty for their work in getting this done. And I want to thank the Landmarks Commission for really, putting this on the agenda, moving this forward, getting us to this point. It's a team effort. It takes a village to make it work, and certainly this is an example of that. So very proud to be here today. Thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to seeing this sign. Thank you so much. And without any further ado, I'm going to pass it over to my city partner, Councilor Coletta. Thank you.
It's tough to follow the hometown here, I'm not going to lie. But I just want to say good morning, everybody. This is a beautiful morning to be here where we're celebrating this monumentous occasion. I want to thank Mayor Wu for moving so quickly. You had 15 days, and so I want to thank you and your team for making this signing a reality. I want to thank our rep, always, 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 for centering the North End and everything he does. He secured the resources to make this a possibility. I just want to reiterate how lucky we are to have him and lucky to have the mayor here who made this a reality. So please give him another round of applause. Of course, I want to thank the community members who worked tirelessly to make this happen. I'm not going to name them because I will forget some folks, but it was an effort that spanned generations, no matter how long you lived here. It was a beautiful collaboration and coalition of folks who worked to make this a reality, so I do want to thank them as well. This designation is incredibly welcome, not just to preserve the beautiful architecture of what we see here, the exterior, but to preserve its use as a community space for generations to come. We know the Nazzaro is more than just a building. It's an integral piece to the fabric of the North End. It's already been mentioned, but it is in the heart, it's in the center of the neighborhood, and rightly so, it's been called the heartbeat of this historic community. It's a space that has been stewarded by North Enders since the turn of the 20th century, and throughout that time has been a benefit for everyone who has lived here. It's where hundreds of kids grew up, played basketball poorly, where families convened, and where folks came together in the spirit of community to support one another. The Nazzaro is a space where people from all backgrounds came to feel camaraderie, or to find camaraderie, where they felt welcomed, seen, and valued. The Nazzaro Center embodies the character of this community, and it's incredible that its history will be preserved for future generations. With this designation, we will be able to recognize and celebrate our culture and set a model for those who come after us, not to just care for this building, but to care for one another. Again, I'm so honored to be here to celebrate with all of you, and I want to say congratulations, especially to all North Enders, on preserving this vital and iconic anchor space for decades to come. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'll pass it to my council colleague, City Councilor at Large, Michael Flaherty.
Thank you, Gigi. It's great to be here, and I wouldn't miss it, given the friendships that we've created. An opportunity for me also to come over and to say thank you to the great people of the North End, a neighborhood that I fell in love with a long time ago when Johnny Camerata gave me my first haircut just up the street. So you would have thought that I would have learned Italian because Johnny and Gino used to speak all the time. I used to think they were talking about me, right? Yes, they were, he says, they were. But just a real privilege, and to know that the city's landmarks, it's our last stop to protect the jewels, the gems in our city. And this here behind us, we've played a lot of bingo in this room here, right? You have a legit bingo machine with the screen, and that's so. And I've always sort of marveled at the fact that the Nazzaro Center has what it takes, not just the equipment in there, but the people. It's the people at the Nazzaro Center that make the North End the special place that it is, and the network that you all have, and the families that you've raised here, and the friendships that you've developed, in addition to, obviously, the greatest restaurants here in the city are located right here in the North End. But it's been truly an honor to serve as your at-large councilor. These are the events that I'm going to miss, but not going away. I'm going to continue to work with Mayor Wu and Chairman Wikowitz and my colleague, Councilor Coletta, to make sure that the North End continues to get the resources and the respect that it needs and deserves for the great place that it is, and it's what makes the city of Boston a special place that it is. So thank you for those many, many years of friendship, and look forward to many, many years of more friendship. Thank you, and God bless you all. City of Boston. So I have the honor of introducing Murray Miller, who is the City of Boston Director of Historic Preservation, one of the folks that I had mentioned in terms of that backstop for landmarks and historic preservation. As a member of the City Council's Community Preservation Act Committee, we work closely together, working with the mayor and elected leaders and communities to make sure that we're preserving those jewels, those gems. And so without further ado, Murray Miller, thank you for your time and talent.
Mayor Wu, State Representative Aaron Michaelwich, City Councilor Gabriella Coletta, the Office of Historic Preservation team, and the community. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today for the Mayor's official approval to designate the Nazzaro Center as a City of Boston landmark. I am Murray Miller, Director of the Office of Historic Preservation for the City of Boston. We are here today to celebrate the historic significance of the Nazzaro Center. This structure is significant because of the social and health reforms that took place here, being one of 12 bathhouses the city built across Boston, being an architectural design that embodies the distinctive characteristics of the Renaissance Revival and Beaux-Arts styles, and being the work of Michael Nazzaro Jr., a lifelong resident of the North End, former State House representative, and advocate against urban renewal efforts in the neighborhood. The Office of Historic Preservation includes the Boston Landmark Commission, the City Archaeology Program, and the Commemoration Commission. We are committed to protecting and preserving Boston's history and to ensure that Boston's history is inclusive, honest, and elevates every community so that they have the tools and resources to research, preserve, acknowledge, and celebrate their history. Since Mayor Wu came into office, the City Council has designated 12 other historic landmarks and an architectural conservation district. We are excited to continue this work. Today represents an important milestone for the Nazzaro Center, the community, and the City of Boston. The Office of Historic Preservation applauds the partnership that serves the purpose and process of this designation. Thank you. I'll now turn it over to Ellen Hume. Ellen?
Thank you so much. First of all, this is Kirsten Hoffman, and I should be with Marie Simboli as well, because the three of us were the community agitators who got the ball rolling about 5 years ago. I see Roseanne Foley. I see so many people. Where's Patricia Romano? People who've held this building up, made it have good uses. We so appreciate you. And the staff today, I see them in the back there. Thank you so much for all you do for our community. So you may not know this, but people in England are coming next month to study how we got this landmark, because it's an example of how democracy can work. And let me start with thank yous. You've already heard it, but we could never be here today if it weren't for Mayor Wu, for Adam Michaelwitz, for Lydia Edwards, Gigi Coletta, Michael Flaherty. Our elected officials have been with us every step of the way, and we are so grateful. So what's so special about this building? As Boston prepares to celebrate its 400th anniversary in the city's oldest neighborhood, don't tell Charlestown we say that, the North End, of course, is famous for its colonial and Revolutionary War history. And we respect that, and that also includes the indigenous people on whose land we stand now, and those who came in voluntarily as enslaved people. This Nazzaro building represents another American story that we wish to recognize, we in this community. The influx of European immigrants into the United States at the dawn of the 20th century. We're standing now before one of the last remaining well-preserved monuments to that earlier era, the North Bennett Street Bathhouse and Gymnasium. There are people today who use this in its day. And why was it built by Honey Fitz, John F. Kennedy's father, when he was mayor of Boston? Why would he do that? The tenements didn't have proper bathing facilities. They didn't even have toilets in many cases. Thank God we fixed that up now, right? So when it opened in 1910, the neighborhood was not only Irish and Jewish, but now Italian. And instead of building a wall to keep out these immigrants seeking a better life, these Democrats and Republicans in the progressive era worked together to try to relieve some of the unhealthy tenement conditions. And so I won't go into the whole history, but I wanted to say we started our petition drive right here in a pouring rainstorm, literally buckets, on Election Day of 2018. Some of you were here. We started petitions, and I think we got about 1,500 signatures. And Roseanne will agree that the Landmarks Commission said they couldn't process all the signatures we got from all of you here in the North End. Thank you for that. So to conclude, I would like to say that we are so grateful that Michael Nazzaro's history and others of trying to preserve the North End continues today. And I wanted to say that wouldn't it be wonderful if this building could be part of an immigrant trail in Boston that crosses the Freedom Trail so that Bostonians and tourists could understand the whole history of the neighborhood, including all the manufacturing and the noise we get right here every day. So I just wanted to say we hope that there will be a vibrant future for this building, and we also wanted to say that when someone came up to me and asked me, why are you're not Italian, why are you doing this? And I said, I was standing with Italians, by the way, I said, look, my Swedish ancestors came in the bottom of a ship here. They were poor as dirt, they were bankrupt, they were desperate, and they built a new life in this country. This immigrant history belongs to all of us. So let's celebrate it properly, keep this in public use, and go on to the next generations. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll just head over here to do the official signing. Is this on? Okay. If any community members want to join us to be in the official photo, please come on up and we can just all gather around.
Stay down. Hey, hey, hey.